It was obviously a great performance from the team. I think for us the most important thing was to win. That's always first priority, and then the way that we were able to win, that was awesome. I thought every single player that was out on the field today really, played an important part, that's how we wanted to start off the season. Right? I don't think you could have asked for a better start at home. So I think moving on. Obviously, it's another week. It's just one game. It's a long season. Can't get too high, and definitely, if losses come our way in the future, then can't get too low. Remember, it's just one game. So.
How are you feeling personally, having had the chance to get that January camp in and end that camp with a good performance? How much momentum do you feel like you personally have going into this
Yeah,
game?
I think this year, more than last year, I have a really good understanding of my roles and the type of player that I am. I think last year, halfway through, I really learned more about myself than I thought I would have learned as a player. And this year, like you said, a good January camp, one that I was very focused in and very willing to learn from Greg. There I was able to get a goal as well. So I think it gives me a lot of confidence moving forward. And here, it just comes down to the goal today, being in the right place at the right time. But being able to help my team is the most important for me. So it's great to add to the win, but more importantly, help out my teammates and be there for every single one of them.
How do you feel knowing you have your spot on the right flank as opposed to moving around the way you did last year?
Yeah, it's always nice. We have a good roster. We have great attackers, and that's what continually pushes me. If there's bad performances, it's Ben's not a guy that'll keep you in. He'll constantly rotate, and I think a lot of us saw that last year until we find the right rhythm. And so for me, I think the most important thing is being consistent, helping the team, obviously building the chemistry with Lucho, with Wayne, now with Leonardo. It's important. I think he had a great game today, and we worked really well. At times when we keep the ball when we go. Obviously, there's always room for improvement, but I think this is a great start for us.
Paul, this club tasted success last year in making the playoffs. What are the expectations this year? I assume championship or bust. In a sense, I mean, you guys have the horses in a sense to do it.
Yeah, for us, it's anything less than a championship is disappointing. We got a taste of what we're about last year, and we can continue to build on that. Going into this year, and I think it's going to be very tough. It's a long season, like I said, so can't get too high in the beginning. But continually winning. The playoff format is different, so it plays a big role. But I think we'll take it game by game and continue to push.
You guys had such a strong second half of last year, and then it ended, and then you had a couple of months off. I mean, how difficult it is to kind of ramp up and try to get back to that level where you were at?
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough. It's not easy. But the greatest thing that happened to us was this first game. I don't think there's more motivation than to play the champs and play them at home. It was a perfect time for us to play them. And I thought everyone reacted really well. I thought, we looked lively. I think we had a great game. Like I said, always room for improvement, always little things to adjust. But I think everyone from the outside view kind of gets a sense that this is still the same team as last year. I think we're continuing to build on that. It's not just a new season. Continuing to build with a core group of players is important.
For you personally,
about this quote.
for you personally playing out wide in a lot last year, obviously opposed to be kind of physical. You seem to win that matchup each and every time that night. Was that something you focused on this offseason, or was that coming from just confidence?
No, you know what? I think it's confidence. I think it's how. And I had a conversation with Greg before I left January camp and the coaching staff, and I. Obviously, with a national team, you play in a different type of system, and my question to them was, how can you be judged at your club if you're playing a different type of way, and how can that relate? And he pretty much, long story short, told me that the movements and building the chemistry within the team. So I think a lot of the movements come from it being in my mind for a month with the national team, coming in the middle, getting in behind the outside back to try and bring a center back out, different things like that, and constantly just trying to do everything you can as an attacker. That's what your job is, right? It's okay if you lose the ball, going forward in the opposing area. And that's just kind of the mentality. Just go, and if it works 1 out of 10 times, then you're successful. And that's kind of how we're judged. And I think that's kind of the mentality I have right now. A lot of confidence, with the team, and I know my team always has my back. So, it's a good situation. I feel very comfortable out there, and I'm looking to continue to build on that.
All right, there's only one game, obviously. As you said, better said tonight with the attack. Looked like a couple times both Wayne and Lucho fell back a couple times. You, Lucas, just interweaving all throughout the attack. In just one game, how comfortable is it? That comfortable? You guys out there that quickly?
Yeah, I think it is. To be honest, I think we feel very comfortable with each other. I think, again, it comes down to understanding. And I think, with the players that have been here, obviously Lucas, fits right in. He's a great player. He has quality. You see his flashes of greatness and quality. And it'll take a little bit of time for him, of course. But I think for the rest of us, it's just kind of continuing on how we ended last year. Also, it's a home game. It's where we feel real confident, where we feel really comfortable. So I think there'll be greater challenges in the season, but I think we're willing to take them head on and move past them.